Everyone, I'm Jean-Claude at Beyond Mystic, and welcome to this Beyond Crypto Roundtable with Jsnip4. Of course, you can find Joe at Realist News and Jsnip4 here on YouTube. You can find him on Patreon at patreon.com/Jsnip4. Joe, welcome back to the show, man.
Yeah, it's been a little bit, and like you said, there's plenty to talk about a minute ago.
Oh my God, it's a crazy news week on every front, political, everything. But really, right now, there's something brewing in the crypto market. So we could start right in today, folks. This is a live interactive show. Thanks so much for joining us here today. We are going to take some questions here tonight. We're going to take some time to have a conversation with you folks. But before we do that, we wanted to bring a few news articles to bear here, just to set the context for what seems to be happening now in our crypto market. So let me bring up our first slide for this evening. Let's see if I can bring it up here. Give me a second here. You caught me off surprise, Joe. Where are you? Where'd you go? It says connection stopped. Are you still there, Joe?
I'm here.
You're still there. What the hell happened? Okay, let's start with this one. Okay, let me bring this one up here. So America's oldest bank adopts cryptocurrencies, will treat, quote, Bitcoin as any other asset. This is big news. We've been waiting for this for a long time. I'd like to get your thoughts on this, Joe, here too, because we had just last week, of course, Tesla announcing that they were putting 1.5 billion into crypto, and then we heard that Apple might be following suit. Novogratz and company, everybody seems to be jumping on ship now. What's going on, Joe? Why is it the time now? Why is everybody just jumping in, piling in on this thing now?
Well, I think because the new financial system's coming. And that whole thing with Woo Dude, the XRP, and Watch January, and 888, and the 222, and all this crap, I think that's just part of it too. And I think it's the Bank of New York Mellon. They're talking about MasterCard also doing something with crypto. My mom actually called me this morning. She's like, "Are you watching Fox Business?" I'm like, "No." She's like, "Well, they've got something out there about the MasterCard using crypto or something, and I think New York Mellon Bank, they're going to do it." And I'm like, yeah, I'm not watching it, but I know we've been, saying this was going to happen at some point, when Jamie Dimon's out there now forecasting, Bitcoin prices. And when he told everyone he'd fire them if they worked at his company and did anything with Bitcoin. Now JP Morgan, Chase is we think Bitcoin's going to be $150,000 by okay. So yeah, it's just, I think the time is now because of the financial system getting ready for what some are calling the big reset or whatever. And they again, kind of like what Dude saw with XRP, where he's like, I'm seeing the deal's already signed. Like, this is already done. The ink's dry. Like, this is, anything else is noise. It doesn't even matter. And I feel the same way with these banks. They've already made their deals and everything else. You got Grayscale, big investment firm, dumping huge money into all kinds of different trusts. They got a Theta trust now. They got the Litecoin. They got the Bitcoin. They got Ethereum. They got a bunch of different trusts that they're just dumping, hundreds of millions to even $1 billion or more dollars on that. I mean, Elon Musk just, we're going to put what do you say, $1.5 billion?
1.5, yeah.
In the Bitcoin. Okay. You got him talking about Dogecoin. Then you got freaking Gene Simmons of KISS talking about Dogecoin. Like, what the hell?
You guys are pimping Doge. I know.
Yeah, you guys are pimping Doge of all things or whatever. I've got some. I got in early. So I'm like, my Doge was like, I think 0.9 or something of a cent when I got it. And I just had this feeling in like January 3rd. I'm like, I'm going to do a Patreon post about Doge. It's like, I think it's time to grab some. So I grabbed some, and then within a month, holy crap, did it freaking shoot up. But there's some forecasts that it's going to $1. Not necessarily right away, but but I mean, imagine getting on that for a penny. It goes and does 100x for you.
Right. Exactly.
Holy moly, that's my kind of thing. I'll take one of those. Nothing wrong with that.
Well, this whole thing about the actors and the singers pimping Dogecoin, I thought, is this like a continuation kind of GameStop, but it's kind of like they're piggybacking on this whole idea and they're all trying to cash in? Or is there something else at play with the coin itself? Like, is it really a resurgent of it? It kind of died on the vine a couple of years ago. What are your thoughts on all that?
Well, the fact that there's a couple of at least a couple. For one thing, White Dove was one of them. That SL369 girl, I think she was the other one. They both were like, I think $1's coming. And White Dove, she on one of her last reports, which was several months ago, the main report that she would sell separately, in there, I like looked up Doge. I'm like, And I think I got it on here. I'll actually just read it to you real quick because
and what color code did you give Doge? Like it was a good.
I want to say green to purple.
Right.
I think, which is her good list. Yeah, green to purple. Sure, it could even get as silly high as $1 someday, she says.
Wow.
Green to purple. So if it's green to purple on White Dove's list, in my mind, this is not a pump and dump.
Right.
There's something to this. Maybe Elon knows. Maybe he's talked to the people. Oh yeah, we're going to use you on, in our Tesla cars somehow. You're going to mine Dogecoin in our Tesla cars, for God's sakes. Who knows? You're at the charging station, play a game and mine some crypto at the same time.
Right.
I mean, who knows? But I don't think it's just a pump and dump. I think there's more to it.
I would tend to agree with you. There's news right now in the mainstream about central banks really starting to panic here. Cliff tweeted out this earlier today about the central banks freaking out, and this was an article from, an interview with Max Kaiser, and they're talking about this whole Nigeria thing here, and they're deep in hot water. They tried last week to try to legislate and close people's bank accounts who were trading in Bitcoin to try to stem the tide, but it didn't work. People just went to peer-to-peer networks, and now they've basically proven that the legislation around trying to limit cryptocurrencies is completely useless. And this was, of course, in the WebBot data way back when. So let me bring that Nigeria thing again up here for the screen for everybody to see. And this is just a question of time, as you know. When this stuff starts happening in one area of the world, it's a domino effect. All these central banks are connected. They all have that same fractional reserve lending, and they've all been printing like crazy since 2008, and of course in earnest since last year. Actually, the year before it started with the reverse repos in 2019 in the fall. So here we see people just basically saying, yeah, that's good, that's funny and all your laws, but F you. How long does it take? Well, see, the differences between North America maybe and Nigeria is maybe the entrepreneurship, but also the deep misery and the necessity to make a way, right? To make a living. And so now here people are moving to crypto and they're saying basically F you to the government. Whereas here we still have our, checks coming in the mail. We still have those EBTs in the States and all that. So people aren't panicking that much yet, but how much further? Now we saw these banks are basically angry at each other and trying not to basically overtake each other. So what are your thoughts on this whole idea of domino effect here in the banking system and how that connects maybe now, finally, to the crypto viewing guys who saw people in Congress weeping at the death of the dollar or the system being kaput in some cases?
Well, that was him. What looked like Congress. Not that didn't have anything to do with the dollar. I think that was.
Well, let me bring up the slide. I believe it said death of the dollar in it. I could be wrong, but let me bring it up for the audience here because I do have that somewhere.
I didn't think so. Let's see that.
Belief. Okay, let me see. I got it here. There you go. Emergency meeting, shock, disbelief, ruin, catastrophe, how we can face this. Congress, outside. For some reason, I thought this had something to do with the death of the dollar.
Yeah, I don't think so on that one.
Belief. Okay.
Like, to me, that was the one where you're done. You guys are criminals, and you just the system shut down. You're no longer in power. There's no Congress. Maybe military's in control, whatever, and it's finally announced or something. Was kind of my take on that.
You're right here. There's a sense of the adjourning for the last time, maybe transfer of
that's
power.
The big one.
Right. Okay. Oh, that's interesting. This, although, could be conjunct with a financial crisis also. Like Cliff was saying earlier today, says, hey, if there's this big banking crisis, it has ramifications across the board, including here into politics. This whole pretendency that we have here with the Biden administration may be coming undone as well if they run out of money or run out of runway here to pay everybody to make pretend here. So, wow, crazy times.
Yeah, and Woo Woo Dude said, he goes, when this all starts to happen last year, he goes, it's kind of going to be, he's like, it's going to really be a bunch of different things happening at the same time. He goes, it's not just going to be one little crisis. He's like, there's going to be all kinds of stuff happening. You're going to have cryptos doing stuff. You're going to have politics happening. You're going to have banking problems, like asteroid stuff you may have to deal with. Like, there's going to be a lot of stuff right around the same time. So you start to look around and you see all this. Now, you talk about Nigeria. That is a country in Africa, and it's a well-known country. It's a well-known name. Everybody knows, the old Nigerian, I'm a prince of Nigeria scam email, But nonetheless, it's a known country. There's a lot of poor countries in Africa, pretty much all of them for the most part. If this starts going around to other countries who go, forget the whole, you're trying to lock our bank account. That's nothing. No. How much money did you guys put into that thing, and what's it worth today? Oh my God. That's it. That's all that's going to matter to those people.
Right.
Because they work on slave wages like we cannot believe in here in America. And when they realize they took some of their, poor man's wages, maybe some of them did it last year, when Bitcoin was at the freaking bottom at $3,000 something, and now it's worth, 15 times or whatever it's worth now, what it was. Like, that's just going to get around, and people are going to do it. And of course, all these other countries there are going to try to probably do the same thing. Oh, you can't do Bitcoin. No, use our currency. No. Right. And everyone's going to see the power of distributed ledger technology. Right. And you just witnessed it partially here with what just happened in Nigeria. So for those of us who still live our lives normally, we're in America, have a decent lifestyle still, whatever, right? And we're crypto investors, and we're sitting on our piles, whether you're trading in and out, doesn't matter. You're sitting on your pile, and the rest of the world starting to wake up, whether they're poor or not, is meaningless, because when you realize the tiny amount of people that's needed with just a tiny bit of money to go into this stuff, when there's limited numbers of Bitcoin and Litecoin and Ethereum and Theta and all this other stuff, then that means inflation has to happen for the prices of those things as people want in. And if we're all holding them, that price isn't good enough. And nope, that price isn't good enough either. I'm not ready to sell yet. I want the $1,000 Theta. White doves, when I sell my big bag, I'll take the small bag and trade for fun. Right. But the other bag, I'm not touching that now that my house is paid off. So,
do you remember what Max Kaiser used to say? There was a magic number where people would say, "No, I'm not going to sell anymore. I'm just going to wait. This thing is blowing, and it just becomes no offer."
For some reason, I want to say it was 50,000, but I can't remember. I really can't. I'm just guessing if I say that.
That's interesting. So 2 points here about Nigeria too. This whole idea that they circumvented the rules to go to peer-to-peer exchange. This was also in the WebBot data in terms of having these quantum swaps and these ability to exchange with each other without having to go through all of these KYC, big exchanges, criminal exchanges, and all that stuff, right? So that's very interesting as well. And if there's innovation in Nigeria, don't you think there'll be innovation here in North America when it comes to time, or when the government puts its big boot on your neck and says, hey, you can't trade Bitcoin? Don't you think there's a lot of tech companies who will say, yeah, we'll see about that, right? So the things are shaping up here very, very fast, I think. You just made there, what was it about? So there was the peer-to-peer, there was something else there that was interesting about Nigeria and their central banks trying to prevent people from, they're closing bank accounts. Well, you remember last week, was it last week or 2 weeks ago? Man, time flies right now. There was a bank in England or Europe somewhere too that was preventing people from putting their crypto profits from Coinbase or other exchanges into their bank accounts. Remember that? So this is a big problem. It's not going away anytime soon. And if we're already seeing it in Europe at that level, we're seeing it here in Africa. Of course, we're all on the same chain. We're at different levels on that same chain, but we're all attached to that same rope. So things are coming really quick. I want to take a quick divergence here and talk about silver as well. As you just said, like Woo Dude said, all of this is going to happen at the same time. So we're starting to see major cracks here and a lot of governments freaking out. There was an interview a week ago where Alistair McLeod was on Arcadia Economics, and Alistair was saying, I don't think the government is ready to handle this Bitcoin crisis here in North America. They barely have their feet under the table. They're, maybe they're working from Hollywood, and they have some serious issues to deal with. So I want to get Alistair on and get more details, maybe on his thoughts on that in the next couple of days or weeks. I think it would be cool. But the whole idea of what you were saying in terms of Elon Musk putting the 1.5 billion into Bitcoin, we saw moves right away, right? Like it changed the market. Had he put that into silver, we might not have seen it yet, but that is coming too. This is why I want to bring the silver into you. Yeah. We're hearing news now that even some of the miners are having trouble producing and getting a hold of the doré bars to put into the market. So there's a huge discrepancy here in terms of what we're seeing on the COMEX and what's about to happen maybe in the physical market. Of course, there's Webbot data, there's the $600 thing. What are your thoughts now as you see these last 2 weeks since GameStop, the SLV being aimed at, and then the physical market starting to crumble last week? What's your gut feeling? What's Woo saying? What's your dreams? What are your dreams saying about all this in terms of silver, Joe?
Actually, I haven't gotten really much of anything on silver. We haven't talked too much about silver either, me and him, and I haven't got any dreams. Of course, I haven't been asking either. I've been like so focused on cryptos and trading. I'm like, can I have a number, please? Or whatever.
Right.
But I mean, just looking though, again, with all these things, you're gonna have a lot of things happening at once. The GameStop thing, you got politics, impeachment crap going on. I got all this stuff happening. Silver is running off the shelves of all these major companies, all these major dealers, and like, how the hell did that just happen all of a sudden? And the thing is, there was nothing like when I see this, like for example, the GameStop thing. It's like there's no way just a bunch of people got together and go, yeah, let's go buy GameStop, to cause the kind of damage they caused on those hedge funds. Like, right. I think this is a coordinated attack from the good guys. And I'll be honest with you, I feel the same way about silver. There's no way those shelves were cleaned off. What happened to where everyone decided on those few days, let's go buy a bunch of physical silver from all the big stores? Like the Wall Street Bets thing was saying, no, go buy SLV, the paper contract. That's what they were saying.
Right.
And the rest of us are like, no, buy the real thing, if anything. Or if you're going to buy a paper contract, then demand delivery. And you can't really, I don't know if you can do that with SLV, but so that was weird. But all of a sudden, silver's flying off the shelves everywhere at the same exact time. They all have notices. And it's like, who just did that?
Right.
Because there was no major broadcast. There was no major, like, hey, guys, let's get together. It just happened. And again, all around the same time. So I'm like, I wonder if this was a coordinated attack with big money from the good guys to cause the next chain event of the financial system under Biden's watch, which will cause this major problem. And I'm telling you, I still can't shake that there's going to be a big pullback. Markets are going to puke. It has to happen under Biden's watch before Trump comes back. So that has to happen, in my eyes anyways. And along with that, I do think cryptos will do a big pullback. It's just, I keep feeling it's going to be the end of the month, maybe the beginning of next month. That's kind of what a few of us actually feel. But I will say, Woo Dude lately is like, I'm not feeling a crash right now. He goes, just so you know. He goes, maybe a little later, but I'm not feeling anything right now. He goes, so next week or so, I think we're just going to go higher. And so far we have been.
To be honest, I didn't get the impression that Cliff was seeing pullback in crypto either. He's seeing this new big emotional spike now, the next one for February 24th, higher. Judging by that, maybe 30 or 40% higher than the last one from GameStop. He was drawing this on the board today while we were talking. And this one is going to last somewhere till around March 25th. But where he saw maybe some disjunction in terms of the government being able to deal with this and the populace maybe having a huge reaction to something broken, he's talking about March 4th and 7th. And that's in line also with what Penny Kelly was saying about silver. It's about the same time where she saw the $800 silver, then a slight pullback, maybe to 500, and then no offer. And what Cliff is doing now?
Was she also calling for a pullback in crypto though?
She had two scenarios. She saw a pullback in crypto if Biden got in. And we had kind of
Trump got in.
I don't remember what she said for Trump.
Yeah, if Trump got in, we'd have an immediately pullback, and then it would go the rest of the year and then finally start going up. But if Biden got in, we'd have a run up first under his watch.
Right.
That's what I remember her saying.
Okay, I'd have to pull the clip back here. There was two scenarios, and I think there was a third one she brought in there too. She wasn't sure about, and it had conflict with one of her readings that she had done back in November. So something had changed in January or February the last time I talked to her about it. So I'll have her back probably this week. I'll try to drill back into that. But in terms of silver too, though, it's lining up with this chart here, and it's lining up with the fact that Cliff was saying that big money, big money, we're trying to get their hands on silver, millions of dollars of purchases, and nobody couldn't even get the doré bars, the junk kind of silver that's just raw out of the ground type of stuff. Yeah. So he's saying in this video here from today that the silver market is broken. it's done.
Well, the other thing is
how long they can continue to pretend here without that minimal flow of actual physical that holds up that whole facade of derivatives.
Yeah.
That's interesting. Go ahead.
Well, remember, I also emailed him because I'm like, Cliff, didn't you have some data where like something breaks in Wall Street or whatever, like just something, and then all of a sudden this huge inflow goes into crypto? He goes, yeah, I do have data on that. So, there's that. So it's like, okay, well, what if big market crash comes end of February, March, but it's not necessarily the crypto market. It's every other market, and money is absolutely pouring into the crypto market out of fleeing and panic or whatever. I thought, well, that's a possibility, but I thought, well, my wife, she got a number on XRP that was 27. And I go, well, last time you got a number was 22. And I'm like, there's no way it's going 22 cents. It's probably going to $2. It's already 70 cents. And it went to 22 cents.
Right.
So she got a 27 one night when I asked specifically, she got a dream clear. She was 27. I go, oh, shit. So maybe there's a big pullback. Again, maybe it's brief. Maybe it just quickly, all of them dump, all markets. Freaking XRP drops in half right now, goes down to 27 or so. And DigiByte, Theta, I heard if this dump happens, those are going to be prime time to buy DigiByte and Theta because it will recover very fast. I will also say one of Dick Algire's, I'll talk about that SL369 girl. She has a really good record too. She gets stuff in her dreams. It's funny too. But she drew a picture. She goes, my guide showed me last night, and this is like days and days ago. She goes, my guide showed me last night this picture when I asked about XRP, and it's basically a big sine wave.
Mm.
And then the date she had was like February 2nd or something. So it's like it's going to peak. And sure enough, we've got the 50-something cents now. So I'm wondering if we're getting towards the top or it starts to fall back down. And if I'm looking at her sine wave, right, it looks like it falls back down to where it was, which could put us in the very low 30s, maybe 27. So I thought about that. And my woo-woo friend, you know who she is. She was getting, for the longest time, there's going to be something big news with China, Iran even maybe is attached to this. There's something big. It's going to cause a puking of the market, cryptos, prime time to buy DigiByte and Theta, and then it recovers pretty quickly. Remote viewers, Dick and them, I'm a subscriber of them, and they had a session the other day, and I want to say it was during Dick's session where it was like towards the end of the month, I think, because remember they remote view the month of February. Every month they try to remote view the next month.
Right.
But as they say, guys, this could go out 90 days. We're trying to focus on 30, but it could go out 60 or 90 days, just FYI. But many times they get it within the time range of 30 days. So one of the things they said, it looks like a major puking event. I think so. I forgot the word he used. And I go, okay, so now that's saying it. Like I got all these things saying it, but what we do is like, for the next week or so, he's like, it's going to be good. I'm not seeing it crash. I'm like, okay, well, maybe in 2 or 3 weeks, maybe he'll change and Spirit will come in and say, okay, now something's going to go down. Or maybe not, because sometimes he goes against the grain. And last time he did, he was right when it was like 25,000.
Let me inject something here just to try to be responsible, maybe for the audience who's not yet into crypto. Of course, entry point is important as you're investing. But as we're getting closer and closer to the end game here, do you really want to be caught with your toilet paper money? As Cliff High said at the end of the show, he says, don't invest in toilet paper money right now. This is the last place you want to be. So do we wait for that pullback? Do you get in even knowing that this is probably going hyperbolic this year? I mean, even JP Morgan, like you said, is saying the Max Kaiser is at 220,000 for Bitcoin this year. Of course, this was a long time in the forecast for Cliff also at the $100,000 party for Bitcoin. So this is all here, guys. I mean, do you really want to wait for that little 10% or 20% correction if you're not in the market
it might
right
be
now?
like 50. It might be 50.
Could be 50. Okay.
If this is what we think, it's going to be 40, 50 plus, I think. But I will say this. Every time, whenever someone new comes to me, I'd always tell them, look, do you want to wait? These things go up, they go down, but sometimes they go up, and when they come back down, they don't ever come back down to the price where you could have gone in. But as I look back in time, I say, every time that I've said that, because it's true. You don't know. You don't want to miss out.
Right.
It always came back down heavy duty, and son of a bitch, you could have made out like a freaking bandit if you had just waited for the next crash. So here I am now, 3 years later, going, or whatever, 4 years now, I guess.
Right.
Wise advice, because you don't want to be out if you have nothing. So I said, look, if you have nothing, at least put something in. and maybe have a little cash on the side so that if it does dump, you got a little cash you can get even more cheaper.
Right.
But again, with Tether, it's printed out of control. The amount, I'm going to look right now because I haven't even looked in a few weeks, and I already know my mind's going to probably be blown at how much effing Tether they've printed now. Market cap, $30 billion. It was freaking 7 or 8 billion months ago. I'm like, holy shit, it's 19. Oh my gosh, 21. It's 30 now. You really does anyone really think Tether, the company that's behind that, is just magically putting billions of dollars? Remember, Tether itself makes no money.
Right.
If I'm the creator of Tether and I'm letting the whole world use it, I'm not getting anything out of that. It's stable coin. It stays $1 pretty much. I mean, it fluctuates such a fraction of a percent, it's not even worth talking about. So it's basically a stable coin. It sits at around $1 all the time. Who the hell wants to put 20 billion, 25 billion, 30 billion in a stable coin when I could take 20 or 30 billion and put it into other cryptos that'll multiply that so high it'll make your head spin?
Right.
So the point I'm making here is we know that group uses Tether to manipulate the market. If you have free coins, such as Tether, dollars, and you have billions of dollars at your disposal, you could buy any of these assets, these cryptos, at any price you freaking feel like it. And then when you buy a shit ton of them from people, and you're buying it from those people who, let's say, made 5 times their money, so they're happy to sell it for those Tether, because they got 5 times their dollars now.
Right.
Let's just say. Now Tether has a war chest of crypto. And it's time for us to make some money for our friends. Give them a discount, and we're going to unload and take real money off the table and dump these cryptos that we've accumulated for the last 6 months or 3 months on everybody else. The market's going to dump 50%. It's going to be a bloodbath. And then we buy it back up with free money like we had before, and our friends buy it, all our banker friends buy it back up too. And you jabronis out there, if you know what you're doing, you can ride the wave with us, is what they're basically saying.
Right.
And that's why I'm saying, with the amount crypto has risen in just the last 2 months, it's substantial. What goes up must come down. Maybe it's only a 20 or 25% drop, but I think they need a big one. It's time to clean up a little bit, and the big boys are experts at it. And like they say, they only get involved when there's blood on the streets, and they make the blood on the streets. So I can't get rid of this damn feeling. And if my wife's going to get another one right, 27 cents.
Let me push back on you a little bit. We had blood in the streets when Bitcoin went to 20,000 and then back down to 3,000 or 4,000, right? Yeah. If there's not blood in the street right now, why is Tesla putting 1.5 billion today? Why didn't he just wait? He's part of the club.
I don't think so. I don't think he's part of the club.
Okay.
He talks good about Trump stuff. Every mainstream MSNBC, we got so-and-so expert on, was for years would freaking trash Tesla to get that damn thing to dump, and then it'd go up, and their friends would get wrecked because the price kept going higher. And I go, they're not doing that to anybody else. These big companies, they're not doing that to Apple, not doing it to Google, not doing it to Microsoft, not doing it to anybody, Coca-Cola, anything. But they're doing it. They will not. They're relentless on Tesla, and yet that son of a bitch keeps climbing. And I'm like, and again, he's out there tweeting about Doge. I'm like, there's something about Elon Musk. I don't think he's part of that club. I really don't. That's my opinion.
All right. Let me bring up this comment here in the chat. Jason says, this guy needs material for his subs, so he's saying there might be a crash. Don't listen. Only listen to White Dove. Okay, so first of all, listen to everyone and follow no one. That's my advice. And 2, it is absolutely responsible for Joe to say, hey, there might be a crash, because guess what? In crypto, there's always crashes. We've seen these crocodile teeth since 2009 in Bitcoin. But to say otherwise, or to not at least warn, especially the new people coming in here, would be irresponsible. So I totally agree with Joe's position here. You never know with the crypto markets here. And woo-woo is one thing, technical analysis is one thing, but all of this is merging into a big melting pot now. And we're not in this bubble. Everything else is being affected. Silver, the political stuff, the religious stuff, everything on the planet right now is teetering on collapse. So again, going back to woo-woo do too, Cliff was saying here earlier today that in his data, he's seeing maybe language of earth changes also for March. So is that earthquake? Is that, meteorites, something else? Again, just another a stress to the system that is already overstressed, overattacked. So, man, Crazy time. So, okay, guys, we're going to get into specific coins here and ask Joe his opinion and see where we can go. Maybe some call options here or call prices here. Before I do that, I want to let the audience know that if they're just getting into this, they really don't know, they're shy about this, please do check out patreon.com/Jsnip4. Joe has a Patreon account here for the last number of years, and he's been providing quite a bit in terms of woo-woo where it meets crypto, but he also provides, of course, technical support for people who actually need it, who are just getting into it and are a little bit shy to pull the trigger on crypto. So, Joe, can you explain a little bit here what you do in these main two programs here? The first one, the crypto woo-woo, and then the elite package as well.
Yeah. Can you put that jabroni comment back up real quick?
Yeah. Let me see if I can re-find it there. Scrolling pretty fast. This guy here. Okay, Jason. There you go.
This guy needs material for his subs, so he says there might be a crash. Don't listen. White Dove's the only one that's accurate. You must not have been following me and Woo Woo Dude for a while with his amazing calls and my dreams and my wife's dreams, because clearly you would not make that comment. Having said that, I have so many Patreon subscribers now. Be honest with you, I don't want any more. I don't need any more. I don't need to shill any. Because the more that come, the more I wake up every day and I go, oh my God, there's 60 comments I got to go, or private messages. Plus I've got 2 different emails I got to go answer. I missed a day. Holy shit, there's 150 in there now. Oh my God, let me go in there and answer these questions. I don't need any more. Believe me, I could care less about, I gotta come join my. I don't care. If you want to come, great, but you don't have to come. Right. We're doing fine over there. And as a matter of fact,
hold on, Joe. Let me add to that too. And if you haven't been following Joe, he just paid down his house. No more debt. Both mortgages are gone. He just bought another aircraft, another Winnebago. Like, come on, guys. Joe's been very successful at this. He's made a lot of people very successful here through his services as well. So, is he chilling or is he on it? You guys can be the judge of that. But please do watch his content. Before commenting.
Okay. Yeah, I've made a few people millionaires just off of Theta, just that one call.
Oh, yeah.
And it came from White Dove. It did come from White Dove. I give her all the credit in the world.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
I came out first to say it. And hey, guys, you're going to want to follow me on this. I'm telling you got to do this. It's 12 cents, whatever. That thing crashed down to 4 and 5 cents.
Right.
When the big crash happened. Imagine scooping those up. And now that thing's at $3.
Right. So, Joe, there is a few spots remaining here on your. So let's talk about that in case these people want to subscribe to your account here and get into some of the action here.
Yeah. So I have the Jsnip4 Elite, and then the main one in the middle, the one on the far left. Throw me a bone. I put that up for people on YouTube who were like, I don't really want to join for crypto. I'm not into the crypto, but I would like to throw you a little bonus. And I'd have so many people saying that every now and then. I'm just like, okay, let me just put it up so you can just go. And it's like $5 or something, and it's just for them to do that. So the main one is the center one, JSnip's Crypto Woo. That's all you need. That's where everything's posted. And I talk a little bit about spiritual stuff, a little bit about sometimes every now and then a little bit of my little treasure hunt update. But mostly we're talking crypto, and got a download last night in a dream, or Woo Dude just called me and said blah, 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 or whatever it is. And then I have the Jsnip4 Elite, and I put that up because sometimes people need to be able to reach out to me and get a for sure response rather than me just read it and say, okay, I don't have time to respond. Right. I'll respond and maybe help you. Maybe you're having a little trouble with something. I'll help you. But I also say, don't think that I'm going to like, hey, I'm brand new, Joe. Can you show me how to do everything? No.
Go watch some YouTube videos.
Yeah, go watch some YouTube. I haven't got my own. I'll share with you for free, as a member that I'll help you out. But it's not for that. But it's just for people who, Joe, look at my portfolio. What am I missing? What should I get rid of? What should I change? That looks good. Add some of this or take some of that away. I do stuff like that too on there. So.
Right. And to be fair also to the comments in the chat, I mean, this is not all roses and sunshines and rainbows. Dealing with cryptos is dangerous. There is always risk, and Joe's quite honest about the risk there. And he's had a few, bad calls. Absolutely. And Joe's honest about them, and he shares them with his folks. But the idea is that when you have all of these calls in a generic or a throughput of information and mindset and education, eventually you win out. You lose on some, but the ones you make up on are just, they really erase all your other pitfalls. So again, buyer beware and all of this stuff. But if you need a little bit of help and you want to get a little bit involved, and Joe, you still have your courses also on the cryptos class for the people?
I just have the one. I'm trying to think if I even left it up now. It's just like Crypto 101, and the Coinbase section is kind of outdated now because they've made some changes, but it's still very useful. Everything else is very useful in the video still. So when people sign up, Joe, did you say you had a thing? Yep. Go watch this because it's got still all really good stuff about setting up Exodus, being safe, security, don't fall for the scams, all the stuff that, a newbie needs to know.
Right.
And I still got that. So I usually share that for free if they're a Patreon member. If they ask, I just give it to them. Just a link.
Very good. And folks, we're just on the half-hour mark here. I would like to remind you to please like, share, and subscribe. If you've just found the channel again, we were deleted back in December, trying to rebuild a community. So if you like this comment, please do hit that subscribe button. And also, you can now find me on Telegram. I've created this account here, Beyond Mystic Official. I'm starting to populate there as I normally would on Twitter as an alternative also to Twitter. As we know, more censorship is coming down the pike. And finally, here on beyondmystic.net, at the bottom right corner is my mailing list. If you guys want to subscribe to that, at least I will be able to communicate to you if I do get deleted again from where I will be broadcasting from in the future. So Joe, let's dive right into, I guess we'll start with Theta. Let me bring up the chart here and share with the audience here. So talk about Theta, your first communication to your people based on some of the white dove material, and where we're at now. We're seeing a lot of action here in the last week or two. So let's dive into this. Give an overview for people who don't know what Theta is, why you started, or why you're interested in that, and then we'll get into where we think it's going to go here in the next future.
Yeah, it came from White Dove. She was giving a reading to somebody, and it just came right in spirit. Goes, this is the one. This will make people rich. It's Theta. She didn't know what the hell it was, other than she knew it was a crypto, because Spirit was telling her that as she was reading somebody's crypto portfolio for them.
Right.
And more people were coming for that. So she's like starting to wonder, I wonder if I should get into this stuff myself. And Spirit came in. So she told Pete about it. Pete looked it up. Joe, I don't know how to get it, but it looks really good. I looked it up. Oh my God, content delivery streaming service. They're going next level. Holy shit. I was shocked. I was like, this never even came across my screen anywhere. No one sent it to me. I didn't find it myself. It was just this gem that she picked up on from Spirit. So I had her on. We talked about it, and I said, this is probably the one I'm going to go the heaviest in because I see what they're doing, and I have full faith in this lady that gave it, even though I don't know her that well. My whole body, sometimes when, your body is your pendulum, it knows. Right. You may not be able to sense or it doesn't talk to you, but holy shit, when you get that feeling of it's a knowing, that was all my whole body. She's going to be right. This thing's going to be $1,000 or more one day, and I'm going to load up on it because this is going to be the one that I do the most damage to things that I need to get rid of, debt, pay for her school, whatever she wants to set up her little orphanage thing and all that. Right. And I'm like, this is the coin. So
where was it when you first mentioned it to your
about 12 cents
people? About 12 cents.
About 12 cents. It fluctuated a little over 12, a little below 12.
Right.
And it hovered around it for a long time. Oh my gosh, it's 10 cents. Oh, it's 15. Yeah. Oh, it's back to 12, Right. And I was just buying every now and then, just keep buying until I guess got a large position in it. And then here we are, 2021 rolls around. It's $1.50. Oh my God. Holy shit. $2. Okay. Time to pay the house off. Done. And now we're at $3,
Yeah.
And it's going to go higher, but again, there'll be pullbacks and that kind of thing. And that's what we're trying to capitalize on with my crypto stuff on Patreon.
Right.
Let's get out here. Let's get back in right around here. We'll scoop up 10% or hell, maybe it's 20 or 30% sometimes when it's a big one, and just keep trying to add to our bags. That coin is probably my favorite coin of all. It was my biggest bag, at least before I paid my house off. It was my biggest bag,
Right.
And I'm trying to build it back up now just to get it back. And
I see a few people in the chat. Where can I buy Theta? So there's news last week too, and you can go through a different IP provider as well to maybe get to other countries. You want to talk about that just very quickly here? People can do their own research, but just quickly.
Yeah. So there's an exchange now called Mandala.exchange is the web address, and if you are an American or a country that isn't allowed on their list, because they have a list. And I'm telling you this because let me wink. I might have spoken to somebody with absolute knowledge of what I'm about to say to you with 100% certainty. You can be an American, kind of, if you use a VPN from, say, Germany or Spain or something. And I use NordVPN as my VPN service anyways. And you can easily click a country or type it in Germany, boop, or Spain, and it instantly connects you. It says, oh, you were connected to Germany now. Okay.
That's what I meant. You can choose your IP basically. With
then go and open up your web browser after you connect.
Right.
Then open up the web browser and go to Mandala.exchange.
Right.
And sign up, but do not go any further than KYC level 1, which is basically as soon as you sign in and it emails you to, yeah, this is me. That's it. Don't do anything else. Don't give your ID. Don't try to go up the next level so you can withdraw more. Don't do it, because that's when you're going to have to send that ID and they go, oh, you're an American. You can't come here. But if your IP address shows somewhere else, I'm telling you, I have good word that it'll be okay. And no one will ever get caught with their pants on. If you ever get caught, they'll give you opportunity to just get your shit off there.
Right.
And I'm not going to say who I spoke with or anything else, but I can tell you, if the day ever comes where I have to show you an email of, hey, look who I spoke to when I told you guys that, you'll be like, well, holy shit. Okay. Yeah, no wonder why you said that. Okay, gotcha. So it's their fees are like 0.1%. It's like Binance. And I think they're tied to Binance somehow, where they use them for liquidity at times. So it's simple to use. If you've used Binance.com, it is literally a spitting image. When you log in, it's like, oh, this is like Binance all over again.
Right.
And you just place your orders, your limit orders, and you can cash out at that level 1, up to 2 Bitcoin worth of whatever per day.
Wow.
So when Bitcoin's $40,000 times 2, that's 80,000. That means you can pull 80,000 of your crypto off that exchange every day, 24-hour period, as long as you need to. So if you had $500,000 sitting on that exchange, it'd take you a few days to pull it off, but you could do it.
Right.
And then when Bitcoin's $100,000, well, that's $200,000 worth of stuff you can take off the exchange.
Right. That's crazy. Okay, there's liquidity there. That's encouraging.
Yes.
Last week I had this first crypto roundtable with Rice and Blood Crypto and Litecoin Lisa, and we got into, there's one Friday night too, guys, if you want to check that out. That's going to be at 9 p.m. Eastern. But last week we got into this conversation about Theta, and at some point I was trying to find this article, Joe. I had read something somewhere that T-Fuel, right, might eventually have problems with the SEC as compared to Theta itself. Did I get that wrong? And now, for the love of me, I can't find this article. Have you ever heard that, or do you know what I'm talking about?
I haven't, no.
Okay, so can you explain here what the T-Fuel is and how it got airdropped, and why are you still first of all in T-Fuel, and what ratio would you keep? Okay, so let's talk about that a little bit for the folks.
Yeah, so that was another thing that from that jabroni, that came from me, looking out for the people. I told them, I said, you have got to get Theta, first of all. And I kept talking about it. And when they said, initially Theta was on the Ethereum blockchain as an ERC20 token. And they said, when we go live on mainnet.1.0, that's when we go on our own blockchain, which is essentially like the Ethereum blockchain, by the way. And we will have our own gas fee coin, if you will, which is T-Fuel. And T-Fuel will serve as another purpose. So if I want to send Theta to you or anyone, I have to spend a sliver of T-Fuel, and it's so ridiculous. It's like 0.0000001 of T-Fuel. So like you could have one T-Fuel probably last you for as many transactions as you ever wanted. But there's also value to T-Fuel. Right now it's probably about 4.5 cents, I think. And that thing was never even a penny for the longest time. But what I told people, I said, look, when this mainnet 1.0 launches, whatever amount of Theta you have at that time, they're giving you automatically 5-to-1 ratio of T-Fuel. So if you had 100,000 Theta, they're going to give you 500,000 T-Fuel for free as part of this airdrop. And when that day comes, that's it. You'll never be able to get it again for free. So 500,000. Let's do the math real quick, because I know plenty of people who got 100,000 Theta in their time. Because back then it cost you $10,000, $11,000. So 500,000 times 0.045, 4.5 cents, is $22,500.
Yeah,
for free.
Free,
nothing. Just because you decided to get in when I told you to. Early on. But it also is going to be used as kind of like a tipping mechanism for gamers and streamers and all kinds of things. And Theta said, well, we're also letting you, now that 2.0's out, mainnet, and now soon, by the way, they said spring, no actual date, but spring, 3.0's coming out, and there's going to be even more features on that. But they said we're going to allow smart contracts, just like on the Ethereum blockchain. And I just was reading something the other day, and they're like, oh yeah, these gamers, they're already starting to do it. And it's like, if I'm Jsnip4 the gamer, and I got a big following of people that watch me play games or whatever, and I create my own Jsnip4 coin, and people start getting it and trading it, well, I'm the one that created the coin. So it's my coin. I might create, 50 million of them and give them out for free or whatever, or charge people for my coins even. You want to support me, buy my coin, and I'm selling, kind of like Reggie did where he issued the coins. So, and I'm not sure how they're going to do it, but that's a possibility like that. So this data network, it's not just about content delivery and streaming. This damn thing is going to be a beast of its own. Yeah. And even more stuff's coming out on 3.0, which again is springtime. And I had sent this thing to myself, and I was going to do a full video on it, and I never did. I just briefly spoke about it the other day. So point being, every single time, so far anyways, data says, oh, new update, that son of a gun rises.
Yeah.
And yeah, it comes down afterwards because they take whoever takes their profits, but then it trickles on up and keeps going again. Hits new all-time price.
Think about it, from 10 cents or 12 cents to now $3 US, and then it's not even on Coinbase yet. Like, it's hard for Americans to get it. You just explained some of the process, and a lot of people are shy to that yet who are not in the, if you've been in crypto for 10 years, you're not going to shy away from the procedure Joe just explained. But if you're new to this, you might shy away from it and just buy Bitcoin or Ethereum, right? Because those are easy on Coinbase. So let me just take a moment and thank the PayPal tip jar donators. Thank you so much, everyone. Mantha, thank you. What did she say? Thank you. The great interviews. JC, thank you. Skate, thank you so much. William Lester, thank you. Always great content, JC. Thank you, Nicole. Thank you so much, guys. I appreciate that. And of course, the reason we're doing this PayPal tip jar thing is, of course, because we were demonetized and we can't monetize anymore. So we're 100% viewer funded here, guys. So if you like their content, please do, if you can, support us this way. That's great. I really appreciate that. And of course, you can also support me on Patreon at patreon.com/Beyond Mystic. And there I do put the content that has been deleted from YouTube and other platforms here behind this paywall. And I also create extra added value content there for our supporters who make it possible for me to be out here with you guys here tonight. So Joe, let's get into XRP. There was another jabroni comment somewhere about the 888. So first of all, let's clear that up a little bit and then get into the FUD that was created in December, and now how apparently this is starting to look like it's going to turn our way. So let's get into this conversation with XRP. Yeah,
so XRP, very beginning, I wasn't a fan. I was like, oh, Big's weird too. It's damn Baker coin, I don't know if I want to be a part of it. But then the longer I thought about it, I'm like, who cares? It's all, again, the whole market's controlled by Tether.
Yeah,
that's the bankers. They run the whole entire market. So who cares about one specific coin? It doesn't matter to me now. So I've realized, take the effing money. Just, it's another coin. Just if it's going to go up, great. It's going to be using the new financial system, fine. There ain't nothing you can do about it anyways. And it's just going into crypto anyway. So that's a good thing. We're going on the blockchain technology. So fine. And Woo Dude says, I'm not a fan of XRP either. I'm not doing it. But I'm like, well, I got like a download myself that when Theta goes on this next run up, I should get some profit out and put in XRP. And he's like, well, I'm not going to mess with XRP. 2 weeks later, he's like, oh my God, I had this huge bitch slapping session from Spirit. He bitch slapped me. I'm like, what do you mean he bitch slapped you? He goes, well, I was doing a reading and stuff. And, and then all of a sudden, I saw this, that basically told me you need to knock that shit off and go get some XRP after this reading or whatever. So he's like, I went and put a couple bucks in. I'm like, you did? He goes, yeah. I go, son of a bitch. He goes, I'm actually thinking of putting another 500 in. And I'm like, okay, so interesting. So then he has this vision later in the shower of these two bankers doing a transaction. One hands him a debit card that says XRP. It's like made of gold, the XRP embossed in gold. And he's like, why is that made of gold? And Spirit goes, why do you think JP Morgan's sitting on all that silver in the warehouses? And he goes, oh my God, are you telling me it's going to be backed by metals? But they didn't answer, but he obviously was a hint. Okay. And then they said to him, he said, they showed me 3 8s, no period, no decimal point, just 3 8s, 888. And then they told me a couple times, watch the month of January. Because that's all they told me.
Right.
And so I, of course, I'm like, well, dude, it's probably going to $8.88. Cliff High's number, his big
Right.
Bitcoin number. He's
But
like,
to be but to be clear, Joe, Woo Woo Dude never said it's going to be $8.88 in January.
no,
He never said that. Okay.
no, but we've had conversations where I'm telling him like it's probably 888. You know, obviously, here's why you saw the deal, and not only that, we've both had downloads of higher than $888. And I'm like, wow. And then one of the ones I got, he didn't even know what it was, but he goes, okay, I heard you said you had a number. Don't tell me. Is it this? And I go, yes, exactly that number. He goes, okay, I got that too. By the way, that's a good number, a bit higher than 888. So we do think 888 is coming. The problem is when I heard all that, and I admit it because I'm a crypto bull guy. Everything, I'm bullish on crypto. I love crypto. I want them to keep going higher, and that's it. Like I'm a perma bull. You know, it's not going down. Evelyn 22. No, it's going to $2.22. No, it went to 22 cents.
Say it, Joe. You're not a crypto bull.
So yeah. So I really thought it was 888, and I made the case to him. So he's like, yeah, maybe we'll go to 888 in January. Maybe that's what it's very possible. Right. And he said, but let me give you two scenarios of how it could go. He goes, because again, Spirit didn't tell me $8. They never said that, but I'll give you a couple examples. I said, all right, what is it? He goes, it goes to 888 in January. Something happens. There's an event. He goes, it'll be international in scope. I think it'll be financial in some level. And whatever it is, I don't know, but it'll have something to do with affecting somehow XRP, one way or the other. He goes, so either it's going to happen, it'll be recognized, oh my God, and then XRP comes out and it's freaking runs to 888. He goes, or whatever the event is happens and then sets the stage for XRP to start doing its thing.
Right. And on that point, that's kind of like the Lehman Brothers event, right? We knew a year before that, hey, there's smoke. Where's the fire? What's going on here? The event had already occurred, but there was a lag time for it to actually hit the mainstream and the global consciousness. It could be that this event already happened with XRP. It could have been Joe Biden's inauguration. It could be what's happening right now in Nigeria for the last 2 weeks. This was in November. In January, right? Go ahead.
Well, I'll say this too. Once we had the lawsuit mentioned in late December.
Right.
So one January, watch January. Okay, fine. It was a couple weeks before January, whatever.
Right.
That was a major announcement, by the way. Of course, that announcement's not making it go to 888.
Right.
So the coin fell. But January comes, and then all of a sudden, all the U.S. exchanges, nope, can't play with XRP anymore. Well, that's interesting. Okay. But you can hold it on our exchange. Yeah, no problem. You're not making us take it off. Nope, you can leave it here. Huh.
Right.
Strange. Okay. So I saw that and go, well, is that the event? And then we had the Wall Street Bets fiasco, and that was it. He goes, this is the event. He goes, this is the kind of thing that causes repercussions behind the scenes. The damage is done. The brokerage houses, some of them may go kaputs, but it doesn't happen overnight. Like you just said, Lehman happens, and then, so he goes, that's it. This is the event. It would happen in January. It was towards the end of the month. He goes, doesn't matter. It happened in January, and I know that's it. He goes, now we'll see what the fallout is. But one of the things he saw in his vision was, Joe, these deals are already signed.
Mm-hmm.
Countries and places, they've already signed the deals with XRP. It's done. It's just not public.
Right.
So when certain things happen or whatever, and then it's finally announced, and again, we keep hearing about the big reset. Where's the reset? I thought it was supposed to, all the countries over big reset. Your Prime Minister Trudeau reset. Where is it? What happened? Where'd it go? It's coming.
Right.
Whatever level it is or version it is, it we'll find out. So I think that might be the time when XRP goes, oh, here we are. XRP does not need the United States to do whatever it's going to be doing. It does not.
Right.
And I will tell everybody this. White Dove also, on her report, more than one time, I believe, and for sure the latest report from a few months ago, the one that was being sold, XRP is on her purple list, which is the epic list, like Theta is on that list.
Wow.
And she just recently did a report specifically. I asked Pete when she does this next one, can you ask her to touch on XRP a little bit, see what she's picking up on? So she had a nice big giant paragraph of, which I'm not going to repeat here, but I think it's going to be okay with XRP and the SEC and wherever XRP is going to go. Doesn't mean on 2/22, which is the date the lawsuit or the first court hearings or whatever it is happens, that something has to be settled right there. Oh, they dropped the lawsuit. It's over. But it could, that would be kind of interesting. But who knows? The bottom line is, if it's on her purple list, it's gonna go way past $8. And Woo saw way past $8. I've seen Woo in a dream that I had, and again, I just got another dream last night for Theta, and I'm like, okay, let's see if it hits it, because I think it's gonna happen.
Right.
And it just keeps happening over and over. Whenever I do get a dream, I haven't missed one yet, except for the Digibyte one, and I've explained why I think that one was delayed because of that major announcement that they pulled back at the last second.
We'll get into
Digibyte something cents right now.
Right.
I'm here to tell you, folks. Oh my God, are we getting close to my dream number on that one finally?
And folks, for the people who are just tuning in now and are like, who the hell is this guy? What is he talking about his dreams? They're not just regular dreams. This guy's doing shamanic dreaming. He's training on this. He's doing pendulum work. There's a lot involved here. It's not for this show, but go check it out. So
yeah, I'm an initiate under the wing of Woo Woo Dude right now.
Yeah, absolutely. Going back to this SEC here, I did have this interview with Reggie Middleton. Fascinating stuff, guys. If you haven't seen this, go check this interview out. I did ask him about the SEC moving forward and maybe that WebBot prediction that at some point the markets would break and the government would come hat in hand to Reggie to use Veritasium here to maybe fix the markets. And he was kind of hesitant to say something, but he did say, JC, if I were to opine, like to make an opinion, he was favorable to a scenario where basically the SEC is now more favorable to crypto than it was when he was in their line of sight. And of course, we now have the new head of the OCC as well. They've been granting licensing now to the first crypto bank and a bunch of other stuff this week. You guys can go check out the news. So there's something there with the SEC. So there might be a wiggle room here to make amends, I guess, with XRP and this whole idea of them having
Well, isn't Gary Gensler going to be supposedly the new top of the SEC?
I'm not sure. Is that
he was the former CFTC guy,
right?
Top guy, and I think he was supposed to be getting into a position where he's going to be the new SEC. I'm going to quickly search real quick.
Bring it up, and the point that Reggie was making also here too is what you just said. XRP doesn't need the United States, and actually Veritasium to go forward doesn't need the United States. He would rather be there as well, but there's other countries now that are interested in these developments. And as we just saw in Nigeria, how quickly people innovate around legislation when it's not in their favor. I mean, the sky's the limit here. So whether that's for XRP or Veritasium, that's very interesting. Did you find the news article?
Yes.
Do you want to bring it up, and I'll share?
I'll just read it. It's just a headline.
Okay,
Gary Gensler named SEC chief, an aggressive regulator returns to Washington. Biden pick, whatever. Okay.
Well, that's what I mean. He's already named.
So,
you were saying it was
Gary Gensler.
Yeah.
Was in charge of the CFTC, who did absolutely nothing for crypto.
Right.
I mean, for silver. When we cried foul, he's nope.
Mm-hmm.
He left at one point to go work on Hillary Clinton's as the finance guy for her campaign in 2016.
Right.
So he left the CFTC. Now he's coming back. And if XRP is the club, their coin or whatever, and it's going to be used for international finance, then that means it's tied in with those people. Right. So my question would be, if Gary Gensler's at the helm, is he just going to say, guys, get rid of that effing lawsuit, let him go, or whatever, something?
Or a slap on the wrist. Here's a few billion, whatever, okay, and just move on.
Yeah. Now I'll say one thing out of the White Dev report that won't give too much away. The very, very recent one she did on Patreon. She said it looked to her like when she tuned in, they were willing to settle. XRP was willing to settle. Say, look, let's settle. Just get this out of the way. Here's what we think is fair. Maybe it was a few $100 million or something. And SEC is like, no, we want the whole freaking thing. We want 1.2 billion, and that's what we're asking for. And XRP is like, no, that's a little much. So on second thought, we don't think you have enough on us anyways. We'll just go ahead and fight it. So that's where she thought it happened. So again, maybe Gary will go, you know what? That initial offer you guys made, we're going to relook at that. You still down for that? Yeah, okay, let's settle. And then it's over. She's not saying that, by the way. I'm just saying it could go that way, or it might drag out in court a little bit, And you know what? Maybe the SEC gets their asses handed to them for the first time ever, or maybe XRP gets their asses handed to them and they've got to pay the big fine anyways. And at the end of the day, it's whatever it comes to a conclusion. It's over with. Let's move on. But again, that's just America. XRP does not need America to do what it's going to be doing.
Right.
Plain and simple. Again, Woo sees the deal's already signed. The ink's already dry. There's no backing out. It's over. The deals are signed. They're going to use XRP. He goes, I think it might be for like Swift payments or international transfers, things like that. He goes, and amongst other things, he goes, and personally, I've heard, so I can't vouch for this, but I've heard of a couple of scenarios that XRP would be backed by gold, maybe even 1-to-1. I'm like, well, and they're going to revalue gold to like $10,000 to $13,000. I'm like, well, that would mean $10,000 to $13,000 XRP. But I've also heard, well, it'd be a fraction, like, 100-to-1 or 10-to-1 even or something.
Right.
And I thought, okay, that might make sense. And then, of course, I heard XLM, which is kind of the brother of XRP, might be backed by silver specifically. But so this is kind of rumors. But those are two coins that many of us think are going to do really, really well. And again, January came and gone. No 888. Listen, when you're dealing with spirit sometimes and they make you think and do some legwork and then just hand it to you on a platter, especially when I hear something, I'm always next level of, oh, this is the epic scenario, because I want it to be the best ever, and I try to make it fit. But if it doesn't fit, I won't push it. But that fit. Hey, so they said watch the month of January, $8.88. Well, could be $88.8, could be $8.88, or could be 88.8 cents.
Right.
And in all fairness, it did hit 88.8 cents in December when it did the quick run up on Coinbase and back down. But
that's true.
If that turned out to be, oh my God, that's it, it's over. There's no way. We saw bigger numbers coming. And again, with the vision and spirit giving him the download to get rid of it at 41 cents and get it back in when it hits 22. I wake up the next day, he texts me and I'm like, holy shit, it's already down to 31.
Yeah.
I'm about to unload all mine right now. And he's like, Joe, your wife is right. I'm sure of it. Spirit's telling me like it's over. It's going to 22. So I'm like, well, I'm going to sell. And Evelyn's like, nah, it's too from 31 to 22. Is it really worth it? I'm like, yeah, percentage wise, that's a big move.
Right.
I would just sit on it. And I'm like, all right, fine. I'll listen to you for once. It went to 22. Son of a bitch, Evelyn. I'm throwing you into the bus now. So what? It went to 22. He buys back, and it's at 2222, just like the number she got. Right. 22 and 2 and 2. Yeah. And by the way, everybody, I have to do this right now. I'm going to show you a picture. This was today on the way home. And the last time I picked my kids up, which was a week or more ago, somebody in front of me had 222 space 2XX was their license plate. And this is green, so it might key it out.
Oh, yeah, we can't see it.
Oh, no, there's.
Oh, yeah, we see it. Okay, yeah.
223 VA.
Yeah.
And I'm sitting there, as I'm watching this, I'm going, okay. I picked them up. They said, Daddy, we forgot to bring our money to eat at this place. Can we stop at Chick-fil-A? All right. So I stop at Chick-fil-A out of the way, get in line, order the food. Oh, Mom's milk's ready at the organic store. Let's go pick up her milk for her while we're out. Get the milk. Well, since I'm over here on the street, I'm not getting on the main street. I'll take the back street to get back up. Again, I happen to land behind that guy. After all that time, 222. Once again, my goodness, you couldn't make it up. This happening like that. So March 22 is right around the corner too, and I think that date also is important. It may or may not have something to do with XRP. I know the lawsuit's on that date too, the initial court thing, but I think there's other things happening too on that date. And Spirit's like, oh no, it's not just that. Right. You have no idea. I mean, even Theta kept going 222, 204, 205, 222, and I'm like, all right, son of a bitch. Next time I'm done. I'm buying, I'm selling at 222. I'm not passing this up. Right. 222 hits, it sells, it's back down to getting close to $2 again. Voodoo goes, hold on. As you were just talking to me, they just came in and said $1.86. Yeah. I go, oh, it's gonna go lower this time. I'll put one in at 188, one in at 187. It's son of a bitch, it went down to 186, 185 or 4 actually.
Yeah, I got back in around 187 or 190 on one of those.
Yeah, sweet. So it worked out.
Yeah, exactly.
222.
if you go to Jsnip4's channel here on Patreon, that's what you're going to see. And of course, he breaks it down by different content here. And there's that little tab there for XRP. I don't want to click on it there because there is the private data there. But Joe, you just mentioned the being backed by gold or silver here. Let's get into XLM here, because I thought, and I've heard kind of these same rumors, maybe one would be the counterpart to the other. So if one was backed by gold, the other one would be backed by silver. So do you want to get into XLM? Have you studied XLM here? Do you know enough about it to talk about it here with the audience? Because I get a lot of people saying, hey, what about XLM and Cardano? That's probably the last two we can do in a couple of minutes here on the show. So let's get into XLM first.
So XLM, no one knows for sure because it's been out for a while, just like XRP. XRP been out for a long time. Right. Nothing's really happened. There was this agreement, IBM and partnership with XLM. This was like 3 years ago. Okay, what? So what? Now what? Nothing's happened. But the story right now, or the thought is, so XRP is going to be like the international SWIFT stuff, whereas XLM will do maybe more domestic stuff. And not necessarily just for the U.S., but domestic in other countries too. So maybe in the future, we're doing wire transfers, you and I or whatever. Oh, it's on XLM blockchain. But if something's going from, the United States Central Bank to whatever country, or it's on the XRP blockchain or something like that. Right. And then maybe other uses too. It doesn't have to stop there where, it's just for SWIFT placement. It could do a lot more, especially if it's being backed by metals. And I've also heard, there's going to be countries that back it by gold, silver, oil and other commodities.
Right.
It's just, we're basically going to find out when we find out. And the best thing is when you're in something like that before everybody finds out.
And in terms of White Dove or Woo Woo Dude or yourself right now for your dreams or your pendulum work, what are you looking at in terms of XLM? Do you see movement anytime soon? Like any tips here you want to give to the audience?
Yeah, so I'll tell everybody one thing that Woo Woo Dude got not too long ago when this thing was like, I want to say it might have been 10 or 15 cents when he said it. I can't remember. I don't think it was more than 15, but it might have been 10 because I remember getting back into this thing. I think it was around 10. And then I don't know if it was when he made the comment or what. Anyways, I bought more after that, just a little bit higher. But anyways, he's like, I think this thing's going to $1. Like, I don't know exactly when, but like not too far off. And usually when he gets something, it is not too far off. In XLM, you'll see the previous spike, that second blue line from the right to the left. That was days after, to the right, far right.
Oh, you're trying to get the old one or this one?
The newest one, right there. Okay, second one in.
Yeah. Oh, this one here.
Right there. So it was like right before that where he goes, I think it's going to $1. And it was down to like, where was the bottom? Go right there. What's that bottom there? You were just there.
This one here?
Right there. What's that at?
12 cents.
Yeah. So this is like the time he's telling us about this.
Right.
And then like 2 days, I swear, I think it was 2 days later, it shoots up to like 48 or 50 cents or something.
Right.
Like really high. And what is it showing there? 36?
Yeah, 36 here. I'm trying to zoom in on it. It's getting hard. But if you want to bring
it
up,
might be 40, whatever. It was like right around there.
Yeah, yeah.
Like holy shit, it just went up like 3.5 times. Or something.
Yeah.
So I was like, holy shit! It's almost double it again. You're almost at $1.
Right.
So he said he didn't say in the next day or two or week. He just said his spirit tells me it's going to $1. It ain't gonna stop there either, but it's going to go to $1, and it has not done anything like that in forever. So here it is today at 45 cents.
Yeah.
It's halfway there. This is only a month ago when the thing was 12 cents.
Right.
So that's another, and again, $1 is going to be nothing. Like Bitcoin at 3,000, you're going to be begging for it. It's going to go lower. I don't want to lose more money. You should be buying it.
Do you remember when Cliff
$50,000?
There's people in the chat today. Oh, Cliff High's predictions never come true. Blah blah. And I wanted to reach out to the thing and slap them. Do you remember the 888 Bitcoin 3 times? All that. And
you'll never see that price again.
You'll never see these prices again, dude. That happened like right on the dot so many times. And I was like, wow. You and I were in it Bitcoin a little bit earlier than that. But for people who are just looking at that at that time, like, oh, who's this website guy 888? No. So and so. JP Morgan said it's going to 0, and Peter Schiff.
Yeah, I'm gonna listen to MSNBC. Yeah, you're listening to the shills. Good job. The ones who are designed to take your money from you.
Yeah, exactly. All right, so we did XLM. I think that's good for now. Let's get into ADA or Cardano here. So explain what Cardano is. why potentially it has legs to eventually be an Ethereum buster or competitor to Ethereum, and what that price action might look like here in the next, because it's just moved quite a bit here in the last week also.
Yeah, I haven't looked at Cardano in I don't even know how many years.
Hey, just before we go into Cardano, I forgot to ask you, did Michelle White have anything on XLM? If you can share it, I know we've talked.
I'll go look at it, and I don't know if I can share it, but I'll just tell you if I'm happy or not happy. And I already know the answer is I'm happy because I think I already looked this up a while back.
Okay.
XLM. Oh, actually, it says how I got to search for the word stellar.
Stellar lumens.
Yeah, stellar. I'm very happy.
Right.
Okay. I'll just say that.
Let's bring Cardano up on the screen here.
On the White Dove report.
Yeah.
So I don't even remember what the hell Cardano was designed for in the beginning. I just remember Steven's song, you know, all I want to do when I wake up in the morning is see you rise, Cardano.
That was a good one.
Yeah, I probably even have it on here still somewhere on my laptop. But
yeah,
like I don't even know what I haven't looked at that particular coin in so long. It hasn't even been on my radar. I mean, look at the chart; it's done nothing for so long. But only recently has this thing really gotten some legs and started walking away. And it will do good. I'll tell you, it will do really, really good. I can tell you that much. What it actually does, what they're trying to work on right now, I have not followed that thing in so long. I don't even want to open my mouth.
Okay.
Other than if you were an investor, you'd probably want some.
Yeah.
I mean, but again, I've got other coins that I'm very happy with. And note, I don't have any Cardano right now.
All right.
But I'm going to tell you, there's plenty that I don't have that are going to do great.
Right.
Honestly.
I was looking at Cardano in late December. It was in the 30 cents or something like that, 33 cents or something like that. And there's one Canadian exchange that I use here to try to get into, and I can easily transfer money from my bank account. And the bid ask difference between, I guess the spot price for it was like 33 cents, but everybody on the exchange was asking like 55. I'm like, come on, it's almost double the price. Like, what are you guys doing? So I was like, what's going on here? There must be something happening. So I'm like, oh, I'm going to wait for a little pullback here, wait for a little pullback. Fuck, it's almost at $1 right now. So I should have bought. So anyways, so for Canadians, it's not always easy. Also, we have some issues too with our banking. For me, the credit cards.
The thing with Mandela, you can't just go buy. You have to bring crypto over there and then switch it out, change it, trade it for something else, and then take that off.
Yeah. So if you're not already in crypto, you don't have Bitcoin to go buy something. You have to actually put cash in somewhere. So you have to do that. You can still do the ATMs. Some ATMs, I guess most ATMs now in Canada, they require your cell phone. Whereas before you didn't need your cell phone number. Now they'll verify you with a cell phone. So that's the first level. But still, you can put cash into it and get your Bitcoin, very rapidly. Those work well. And then you could go to these other exchanges and want to flip Bitcoin for something else. You could do that. So I'm not ready to do a review yet on this new Canadian exchange that I'm using. It was a little bit wonky, tell you the truth. In December, the price action was going so crazy and they were swamped with volume as well. And they're kind of new. So I'll wait a little bit more before I give my opinion on it. But it did work for me. There was a little bit of frustration here and there.
But you were able to buy with money?
Yeah. You can do either credit card, if your credit card allows you to, and most of the banks here in Canada, including the two that I deal with, they don't let your credit card buy on exchanges. They're actively seeking out exchanges to ban them from the approved list of purchases you can make on your credit card. So then you're left with the either electronic fund transfer that takes maybe a couple of days, or now this new exchange, they have the email money transfer. That's almost instant, and they charge nothing. I think when you put more than $2,000 in your email money transfer, so I'm like, hey, that's pretty good. Because even Limit Brown, if you're going to make an exchange and send them money with a wire transfer, you're going to charge your percentage there. So, anyways, I'll probably do a review on this maybe next month when I get a little bit more comfortable with it. So, Joe, as we round out the show, is there any other coin action that you're looking at now, you're excited about, any new trade calls that you feel maybe here we can give or wet the beak, so to speak, here of the audience?
No new coins right now. The way, because I got people who ask me, well, Joe, could you woo dude, or could you ask about this coin or that? No.
No.
Spirit gives us the one.
Right.
And right now, the one to trade is Theta. So there's been fast and furious. Oh, in out, in out. This one, that. And if something comes up for XRP, then I'll say it. If something comes up for something else, I'll say it. But right now, it's Theta for us. So we're trading in and out of Theta right now, and until Spirit or Dream or something comes in and goes, nope, time to switch. And then I just do it. So, yeah.
I guess I want to ask you then about Ethereum. We've seen a big move in Ethereum here lately. Are we seeing a pullback here, or is this continue going to climb? I think it's undervalued. And same thing with Litecoin. When's this Litecoin going to do the move? Let's start with Ethereum first. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, so Ethereum, I do believe we're going to see $3,000, and it might kind of peter out around there. I think. So
you mean
not quite doubling from where it's at?
What time frame? You mean this month, or you mean 2020?
Oh no, I'm not saying this month. I just mean maybe in a few months. I don't know. Just as it gets going, I think that's kind of where it may lose steam, I should say.
Okay.
Whereas some other coins aren't going to lose steam. Like if you're investing now in Ethereum to try to catch $3,000, and there's all these other coins that might do 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 times their value now in the next few months, let's say.
Right.
I don't think Ethereum's going to do that. It might double. So, Ethereum, you missed that boat when it was $300 the other day, $200, $300 not too long ago, not the other day, but, a little over a month ago or whatever it was.
Dude, do you remember, was Ethereum $4 or $40 when you and I got Veritasium? It was
because I want to say Ethereum was higher than Litecoin. So Litecoin was probably the $3 or $4 one. So I'm going to say Ethereum was probably
40.
I'll look real quick too. Ethereum. Just look back at that, because that would have had to have been very early 2017.
Right. And
it might have been a few dollars, because I want to say the very beginning of the year it might have been, but we weren't in it at then. So in January, it's like $10.
Yeah.
And then by March or so, it was 17, 20, 22, 30.
Oh, okay.
Look. In March. So it's probably around 30 or 40. Yeah.
When was the ICO for Veritasium? It was in the summer. I remember it was hot.
Yeah, it was around, I'm going to say it was probably around March, because I feel like it was maybe April. So maybe it was all of March, and then it ended possibly, because I felt like it was like the next month. I swear I remember saying like, oh my God, 3 weeks later, this $6 investment I got in, it's worth $120 something. And the house that I'm looking at that I thought was a joke, I can now afford it, and they dropped the price also a couple of times.
Yeah.
And my Bank of America lawsuit thing, I was fighting the foreclosure. They wiped my credit score completely clean. I don't even have a foreclosure anymore.
Right.
Holy shit! I think I should take a chance. And we did. Here I am in the house right now.
Crazy. All right, let's finish on Litecoin. What do you see going on with Litecoin here?
Yeah, Litecoin. There has been some serious consolidation for Litecoin. It's that coin that no one's paying attention anymore. It's not doing anything anymore, and then it's just going to creep and creep and creep. I mean, that thing was just $40, really not that long ago at all.
Right.
So it's now 4.5, 5, almost 5 times that price. And there's forecasts from the woo-woo side of things. I see Cliff's there. Of going to a few $1,000s for Litecoin.
Right. And what's your take on the ratio eventually coming down to maybe a 4-to-1 with Bitcoin, seeing as the number of coins are about that 4-to-1 with Bitcoin? What do you think on that?
Yeah, that I don't know if it could do. I mean, just because the number would be so high, because by that time, Bitcoin's probably going to be at least $100,000, if not more. And to think one Litecoin could be 25,000 right now, that's just hard. That's hard to swallow. Yeah. But at the same time, when it's only $180, if it goes up 10 times from now, that's just over 1,000.
Yeah.
That's easily doable. 20 times, 30 times is doable.
Well, when you think about it, 2018, it had started the year, I don't know, $10, $4 or whatever, maybe $20. I forget.
2017, it was like 3 or 4.
Yeah, and then by the end of the year, it was almost $400 or $300.
Yeah.
Or something. So it's not plausible that it would make this kind of move this year. And now, of course, go ahead.
The weird thing is that typically it really followed along with Bitcoin. So this time around, Bitcoin hit the all-time high and went right past it, and Litecoin's like $120, whatever. What? This thing should be $300 right now, and it's not. And even now that we're touching, nearly 50,000 for Bitcoin.
Yeah.
Jesus, that thing should be 500 or 600 at least.
Yeah.
Not yet. So, point being, some people might get upset about that. Man, I'm sitting on 1,000 of these things. What the hell, man? Just wait, because when it starts to go, like Ethereum, $200, $300, $200, $300. Oh, 400, back to 300. Oh, what's taking so long? All of a sudden, now it's 1,700.
Right.
Oh, man, I wish I would have bought more. Oh, here we go. Exactly. And you're going to wish you bought more Litecoin when that son of a bitch gets up into, $800, $600 range at the current price. But again, for me personally, in all fairness, I might have 1 or 2 Litecoin right now in my possession. And I used to have a big bag of it, but
I remember
I felt like I was guided to get out of it and, change and get other coins. And I did. And
when I met you in Florida the first time, I think your biggest bag was Litecoin at the time. You were
for sure. Yeah. But I've done well with the other coins. Again, I've moved stuff, got more Theta, all that kind of stuff. So while I'm over here telling you, oh yeah, it's going to be great, and I don't have any, don't let that discourage you and make you think, well, if he doesn't have any, then I don't think I want any. I'm in other good coins.
Right.
And there's so many of these damn things. How many can you possibly get? Just grab a bag and sit back and relax. Do it. But if you don't have Litecoin, you're thinking about getting some, you want some, go for it.
Yeah.
It's not going to be a bad decision.
I was looking at some old shit coins that I still had lying around here today. I'm like, oh, that
a little bit.
yeah, exactly. That old saying, the tide rises all ships. So eventually I'll get out of those shit coins because some of them really won't do anything. But right now they're still rising with the markets. I'm assuming we're probably going to see that for a little while still. So that's your opportunity maybe to get your money back if you're underwater on here, and then get into some of these more sexy coins now that we have here moving this year. So any last thoughts, Joe, you want to share with the audience here before we go?
Yes, I see someone's comment. He's like, hey, I respect you when you said your Litecoin call didn't work out. Yeah, I sold Litecoin. This guy that I was talking with had a great record of calling the bottoms, the movements down. And I'm watching him one after another. And I'm like, okay, I can't take it anymore. He says it's going from like 60 down to 38. It does it. Now he says it's going to 25. It does it. Oh my God. Next stop is between 13 and 17. And I'm like, just doing the math, that's from 25. I'm like, holy shit, I could double my bag easily. I'm going to sell off. It went down to 22 and then stopped and reversed.
Like, fuck.
And I watched it go back to my number, but I'm like, well, maybe it's just recovering a little bit. It'll go back down. And it never went back down. So he tells me, he's like, look, all the data we had was showing this was really going to happen. He goes, by the way, don't worry about it. Get into Bitcoin Cash right now and you'll make it all back. So I told everybody who was with me on that one, this is what he said. I'm going in. And sure as shit, we took a super low price of Bitcoin Cash and wrote it up to like $450 at the time. And it was the equivalent of easily making up for that stupid trade. But that's the thing. No matter who you are, what you do, I'm using woo-woo, I'm not, whatever, it doesn't matter. No one's going to get them all right all the time. And I always say this, I don't care if I got a dream or something. Oh, well, my dreams are always right. No, maybe not. Maybe not this time. So that's why I tell people, don't be stupid. And well, you got the last 3 right. I'm going to put my whole bet into this one. And then that's the one that we miss. Yeah. And now you're pissed off at me, even though you should be pissed off at yourself because I've been telling you not to put too much in, but you can't help yourself because I shouldn't have listened to you to stupid woo-woo stuff. Oh my God. Relax, pull up your pants and start again. You'll make it back up, but people get too emotional when you got too much money involved. So never bet too much money because if it happens, it's not a big deal when it's not that much money.
Yeah. I was thinking of that rap song because don't dance, we just pull up our pants. What's that song?
Yeah, rock away or something.
Rock away or something like that. When you said that, it made me think of the song. Shit, I just forgot. We were supposed to talk about Digibyte. Let's get into Digibyte quickly here before we go.
Okay.
Yeah, let me bring up the chart here again. Let's go back. So basically, what are you seeing now and in terms of price movement and what maybe Woo do or some of your dreams telling you about Digibyte, and why are you still very much big on Digibyte?
Because Digibyte is from the same code base as Litecoin, and that's also the same code base from Bitcoin. And when you look at when Bitcoin started, 2009, Litecoin 2011, Digibyte 2014, I believe. And everything that Bitcoin was, Litecoin was, and better and faster and cheaper to use. and everything that Bitcoin and Litecoin are, Digibyte's I'll go ahead and say it, magnitudes greater than what they're doing. But there's one key thing. Those guys came out first, and the longer something's out, the longer it has time to finally get out there and start going up in price. So what you have today at a measly 4.5 cents, now it's 5 cents, 5.3.
Right.
I want you to remember, at one point, Litecoin was 5 cents. At one point, Bitcoin was 5 cents. Mm-hmm. Bitcoin's nearly $50,000. Litecoin's today, even when it should be 500 right now, it's still 180. Could you imagine how many Litecoin you could have bought at 5 cents with like a few $100? Oh my God. And now multiply that by even $180. Like stupid money. So for Digibyte, you're talking something that's going to be, I just know it's going to be absolutely epic, incredible at some point. The question, well, when, man? When? I don't know exactly when, but I did get some dreams on it. I've gotten exactly 2 dreams on Digibyte. The first one came true the very next day, and the next one I thought was going to happen within the next week, again, because of this huge news that they were teasing us about was going to happen. They got a top 10 IT company out of the European Union zone that they're working with governments over there to do something with Digibyte. And if that's an announcement, that's going to be effing huge. And I go, oh my God, the price is 2.1 cents today. My dream is this number. It's going to be multiples higher than 2 cents. And that, of all my dreams and all that stuff that I've had, that was the most intense, most visual, most emotional feeling that I brought out of the dream with me ever. And I immediately woke up and felt sick to my stomach because I was out of the market on that one because I took a trade. And I go, oh my God, I got to get back in right now. I don't even care what the price is, because if this happens the next day or two, I'm screwed. And it was going to happen about a week or so later, but then they pulled back last second. Nope, we changed our mind. We're not going to do the announcement yet. Right. But I will say this. White Dove also has recently said more than what I'll say now. Digibyte, I think this is the year for Digibyte to really start getting moving. So you remember when Sharon Michelle, another psychic, had said regarding Theta, when it gets to around, I think, 40 cents or so, like you better be in by then, because it's going to start to get out of reach if you're not in by then. Right. So sure enough, Theta ain't no 40 cents no more. It's been $3 lately, 2 something. That's it. Yeah. So with Digibyte, I think the same thing applies here. It's 5 cents. Finally, you could have that thing for 2 cents for the longest time. It's now 5 cents. And it's probably going to be dollars, honestly, before probably anybody knows it. Yeah. And that's another one I went pretty good on, because I believe in the project. I'm willing to sit on it. If I get a download or a trade thing, we trade it. We did do some trades last year. We got several downloads, and I got my dream, and I'm like, whoa. Yeah. But that last dream I haven't got yet, because we're getting extremely close right now, but I can't call that a win yet because we're not there. Right. You just mentioned Digibyte is kind of like Litecoin and Bitcoin on steroids. And if you remember Max Kaiser, back in 2009, buying all of this Bitcoin for almost nothing now, it's like, it's stupid money. Like, it's crazy how much he has. And of course here, Crypto, thank you for reminding me. Yeah, in the Webot reports, it said that DGB had long legs. So those legs are going to start moving, we think, this year, especially White Dove. Right. And it already has. By the way, she put that report out on her Patreon, and Digibyte was still like 2 something cents, I think, when that happened. There you go. And like 2 days later, that's when this big spike happened, and it just kept getting legs and walking away. Yeah, incredible. Yeah. Cool. All right, Joe, to go back to your Patreon here, let people know how they can reach you, and if there's anything else that you want to share before we go to this evening. That's it. No, just patreon.com/Jsnip4. That center one, Jsnip's Crypto Woo, that's the only one you need. I post everything there. If you want a little more, you want to reach out to me, ask me a few questions or something, look at your portfolio, then the Jsnip4 Elite one's for you. That one's $40, but that also includes everything for $20 also. So you're not missing out. You get it all at that price. You'll get it all. A stake in a room. A stake in a room. That's what we're working on. Want to be with us? Okay. Yeah, stake in a paid off house now. Forget the room. I got my house paid off. Holy shit. Exactly. Oh wow! Thank you so much, Jason. That's very nice. Thank you so much. Nice
Thank you for all the great content. Thank you, Jason. I appreciate that. Thank you, Marek. Thank you, Julian, and thank you, Mantaware. I think we did that one already. Wow, you guys are awesome. Thank you so much for all of that. Thank you so much, Joe, for all of your time this evening. Great talk. We should do this more often, especially now as the legs are getting underneath this market here.
Oh, yeah.
Crazy movements, and we're seeing the old structure crumble. You and I have been talking about this for years, and I was saying that to Cliff today too. Now it's different. You and I have also thought, in the last couple of years, oh, maybe it's now. Oh, maybe it's now. And then we were disappointed. But it feels like we're in it now.
Boy, does it feel like it's finally here.
Oh, yeah. And if you go back to Cliff's drawing, which one is it here? Let me bring this one from earlier today. Basically here from February to March 25, big changes are coming in on the economic front, governmental front, governance structures as well. So hold on to your hats, everyone. Get some pure sleep if you can, because you're going to need some.
I bought 2 bags of that. Let me tell you, I like the taste. It's like a strawberry milk taste, and I enjoy it. I like it. I use it. I got 2 bags, and I'm like, all right, I'm almost out of the first bag, so I'm getting ready to place another order. It's good
awesome
stuff, man.
Well, guys, if you don't know about this, of course, it's a sleep formula that Cliff put together through some old, I guess, Taoist and not just Taoist, but Ayurvedic, I think, recipes that he put together. Anyways, it's called Pure Sleep. You can get it at purebulk.com. And if you want also, and you want to help me out, you can use my affiliate link here on beyondmystic.net/shop. And there, I have the links to all of the great products that I like to take. So anyways, thank you so much, everyone, for that. I really appreciate it. You guys are great. Thank you for all the donations this evening. Thank you, Joe, for being here tonight. And we'll see you soon.
One more thing. Someone's comments like, Joe, please play the didgeridoo one time.
Sure, let's do it.
I can't. I just want to tell him I can't. If I play that damn thing right now, I'm going to wake Ian up. He's right outside this door. Okay. So I saw your comment, and I would play it, but
why don't we schedule a recurring of this crypto talks here, and we'll do the didgeridoo and maybe the bowls the next time
early on. Yeah.
If we do the show a little bit earlier, we'll start. Yeah. We'll start with.
Well, 8's okay because he's just going down for bed then. He's usually whining that he doesn't want to go to bed, and then he just falls asleep. So it'd be okay at that time.
Hey, I wanted to let you know. Last thing, I put up the old videos of the. The trailer for the spiritual retreat adventures.
Oh, okay.
Let me bring that up. So I was able to re-upload them from my old YouTube to the new one, and I've just now put it up on our spiritual retreat adventures website. Now the bookings aren't opening, guys, yet. We don't know what the restrictions are going to be still, but if you guys want to go check out this new trailer, you can find it here at spiritualretreatadventures.com, and there you go. That's our cool, really cool trailer.
Now, not disclaimer, but there'll be a future update to that video with a trike-wing aircraft swooping down. Just, Wait.
Okay, let me bring it. You went flying today? Is that where you were this afternoon?
Yeah, I had to get my lesson again. Well, not again, but to get back into it, just to refresh and everything.
Okay. But did you get yours yet? The one that you bought?
I bought it. It's just sitting over there. I didn't fly it yet because it's got a 20-meter wing, which is a big-ass wing. But it's for going slow and everything. But if there's any kind of wind, it's not real fun to try to control and fly. So we use the sport wing, which is like a 12.5-meter wing. And the guys that I flew, I ordered a wing for mine, but it ain't going to be in for another week or two. And then he has to work on some other customers first that were in front of me. But the instructor has the same aircraft with the 12.5-meter wing. So we, of course, just took his up and zipped around the sky. I didn't do any landings, but we just refreshed in the air, basically.
So let me ask you though, did you buy a specific trailer to move this around now? Like how do you move yours around?
That trailer that I have, I have a blue enclosed trailer that I bought last year.
Oh, not the same one. Not the same one.
It's just like that gray one I had, but I got rid of that. And then this is also a 16-foot. They say you need an 18-foot, but she said if you have a V-net nose 16, it should work. And I do have a V nose, so I got that. And actually, I thought, well, that trailer is like 2,200 pounds. You put stuff in there. Like my little Honda Pilot is not cutting that. So I was thinking lately, like, that damn auction down the street, they've got all the old government trucks and things and diesels. And there's a couple of Fords that are there right now that I was looking at. And like, oh, they're all beaters, but I'd only need it to pull stuff. And I thought, man, if I can get one of these for like a few grand, shit, I'll go buy a freaking diesel. So I'm actually going to look at the auction on Saturday and see if I'm going to pull the trigger or not on something. But if I get that, I could easily tow that thing around. But man, I
Joe,
got to take that to the mountain.
But Joe, if you're crypto rich, why don't you get the new Dodge Ram T-Rex, man?
Like, with
that's what I'm eyeballing right now.
800 horse, whatever.
Yeah. My God, can you imagine zipping up the mountain in this thing? Oh my God, it's cool. What was our friend there? Bill was saying, "Oh, buy the Ford Raptor." I'm like,
Raptor, yeah.
I prefer the Ram with a heavy, turbo heavy on that. Anyways, this is a sweet rig. Yeah, maybe in a couple of months we'll see where cryptos go. At this point,
you never know. Yeah, holy cow.
Yeah, exactly. All right. So last time, Joe, anything else you want to share before we go?
No, that's it.
All right. I love you guys. Thank you, Joe. Have a great evening, everyone. Au revoir.
See you guys. See you later.
Bye.